Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you another movie review. This time we're going to be talking about Beauty and the Beast, the live-action adaptation of the classic animated film. And so I seen this movie just the other day. Actually, I went and seen it with my girlfriend as well as my family. And I don't want to make this video too long, but I did want to get my thoughts out there on it. This isn't like your typical type of movie you'll see me reviewing. It does like a romance type of thing at heart and everything like that. But I believe, there's been a lot of like good live action versions of classic movies like this lately. I never seen it, but I heard a lot of good things about The Jungle Book and things like that. But I believe like when movies like this, like animated or live action, when they're done well, I think they can have an appeal for everyone. I don't think it's like just a kids movie. I don't think it's like just for like girls or anything like that. I think it can appeal and garner enjoyment out of any person really. And overall, despite this not being my usual cup of tea, I did enjoy it. I thought it was actually a pretty wonderful movie. I don't say wonderful that often either. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I remember watching the animated film, probably a good handful of times as a kid. It was one I liked quite a bit. My brother probably watched it more than I did though. And he was always a big fan of Gaston, just because he was all manly and tough, and he always liked the G.I. Joe type of guy. So I think it was just because Gaston was cool to him or something, despite him being like the obvious prick of the movie basically. Excuse my language. But Gaston is also kind of why I was interested in this movie as well, because Luke Evans played Gaston in this movie, and Luke Evans is one of my absolute favorite actors working. He's fantastic. I wish they would have continued his work as Dracula. I thought Dracula Untold really flew under the radar, or underrated at least. I even liked when things like No One Lives, things like that. I've been looking forward to him playing the creator of Wonder Woman coming up too. But yeah, we'll talk more about the cast in a couple of minutes here. So like I said, this isn't that adaptation. I forget, it's 1 a.m. I'm forgetting specific terms right now, but of course it is based on the animated film. And I haven't done like a in-depth comparison myself or anything, but from what I've heard and from what I remember, it is pretty close to the animated movie, and there's no drastic changes or anything like that. They might change some details about the Beast here and there, or there might be there's another song or two added in, I think. But other than that, it's pretty much a literally live action version of the animated film. Which I think was good. Some critics might say they wanted more change with it, or more of a initiative with it, or something like that, innovation. But if they did change any more, they probably would have complained that it was too far off, right? So I think they went the safe route here. And you guys know the story, Belle, she's a small village girl, very smart, very kind, and then eventually she wanders off and eventually runs into this, supposedly terrifying beast who turns out to be a prince, put under this curse due to his arrogance and sort of cruelty, really. So that's the basic story there, and of course, she has Gaston pining for her affections. He gets roped into it, and eventually wants to start and kill the beast, and that's basically it there. And it's basically just Belle discovering more and more about this beast, his story, what he's been through, as well as the different objects at the house, who are put under the curse with him. So it's a premise I think we're all pretty aware of. But again, I thought it was fine. Like I said, it was just pretty much a straight up version of the animated one. But I thought it was all handled fine. Like I said, it's not my usual movie, but I can appreciate romance when it's done well. And this is like your classic, cliche fairy tale romance type of thing. But despite that, it's well done. It's very nice. It's very sweet. and I think it actually worked. Emma Watson played Belle. I actually never seen the Harry Potter movies, Whoa. I'm sure my girlfriend's going to change that at some point. But I know she gained a lot of her renown for her work in that. And she was pretty good in this, I think there's probably a lot of actresses who could have played Belle, but I thought she was a pretty good fit, as far as what I've seen of her in this. So I think she worked. Then we had, let's see, Dan Stevens as the Prince and the Beast. He was pretty good. He served his purpose. Of course, the Beast is a big role in the movie, but his performance was fine as well. I do think in certain spots the CG on the Beast could have been a little bit better. It seemed like they could have put a little bit more money into it or something, because the budget was $160 million, so I feel like they could have made the CG just a bit better. But the overall design of the Beast was fine. I feel like they could have added some darker circles under the eyes or something, made it a little bit different in some way. But for the most part, it was fine. It didn't ruin the movie for me. I thought it was definitely passable. I think I was just expecting a little bit more from it at certain parts. But again, passable, and I don't think it was really harmful or anything. I wouldn't go that far. And there's definitely instances where I don't even notice it. There's definitely instances where I'm, into the scene and it doesn't bother me. So really not a huge problem. You even had Ian McKellen as Cogsworth, which I didn't realize Ian McKellen is in the movie until he was turned back to normal with the others at the end. But it was good to see him here. So Ian McGregor, as well as Emma Thompson. I could name off the whole cast right now. It's a pretty notable cast actually. And then you also had, like I said, I mentioned Luke Evans as Gaston. Luke Evans was perfect in this movie. Like I said, he's one of my favorite actors working. People say he's born to play Gaston. I can see it. He looks quite a bit like him, honestly. He pulled off the arrogance, the cockiness, narcissism. Veteran war hunter obsessed with violence and Belle. Things like that. He just played it off all perfectly. You can tell Luke Evans is having a lot of fun in the role, and he was really a joy to watch. He was my favorite part of the movie, so I liked him quite a bit. And like I said, the romance is all fine. The songs, they're all really nice. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but the best song is probably Tale as Old as Time, things like that. But they all worked pretty well. They're all timed fairly well. It's hard to really find any legitimate problems with this movie. Like I said, the CG with the Beast could have been better, I think, but it wasn't awful or anything like that, and really not that bad. Like I said before, it was a little over 2 hours long. Running time here says 129 minutes. I felt like it was a little bit longer than it had to be. Let me look up the runtime of the original film. Just give me a second here, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, yeah. The 91 animated film was 84 minutes. Yeah, okay, so it was quite a bit, shorter than this live action version here. So obviously it did add in some stuff or extend certain parts of it. And I know, back then a lot of movies were, quite a bit shorter, but nowadays a lot of movies tend to be an hour and a half at least, if not, closer to 2 hours. As well as, as an animated movie directed towards kids, so of course they didn't want to make it too long. They wanted to keep kids' attention, make it shorter. But I feel like the live action movie here probably didn't need to be over 2 hours long. I don't think it needed to go on that long. It felt a little bit stretched out in the first half of it or so. But other than that, there's really nothing else I can really think of off the top of my head that was wrong with it. Of course, there's a lot of controversy around Gaston's best friend being openly gay in the movie. I never had any issue with it. I don't think there should have been all this controversy stirred up about it. I never thought it was really a big deal. Again, it's been a while since I've seen the animated movie, but from what I remember and from what I've been told, he came off kind of like that in the original film apparently, and they never really shove it in your face that he's gay in the live action movie either. He makes some jokes, some like middle of the road comments here and there, but it's all really light. It's not really like inappropriate or anything. And even then, who cares? There's homosexuals, there's straight, bisexual, whatever. It doesn't matter. You love who you love. Unfortunately, he loves Gaston. Gaston doesn't really seem to think much of it. But I never thought it was a problem in the movie. I don't think anyone should really find it a bother, no matter your views on it. If you do think it's an issue, I think you're a little bit too. I'm not gonna say, but I didn't think that was an issue either. It looked like the actor had a lot of fun playing it as well, so it was good to see him. I also think the actor who played Belle's father did well. Did quite well too. I'm just having trouble looking at all the names right now, I guess. But he did pretty well as well. And so, I think Beauty and the Beast is a really good time. Take your whole family to see it. It's definitely worth watching. Between this, Logan, and Kong Skull Island, there's a hell of a lot of different movies out there to enjoy right now. So go out and see them all, If I had to rate Beauty and the Beast, I'd give it a B+. I know that might seem a little low for some people, and I am tempted to rate it even higher. But the only reason it's not any higher is just because it's still not necessarily my favorite type of movie. But I will say it was pretty much perfect for what it had to be. I think pretty much on all ends. I didn't really think it had any issues. Just my scale is on a lot of it is based on a personal enjoyment for me. It's just not necessarily my movie, my kind of thing. But again, I still had a good time with it, and I think there's people who will enjoy it even more, and rightfully so. My favorite part of it again was Luke Evans. Even got a picture of him here. Oh yeah, he was the highlight for me. He was just awesome. But so let me know you guys love about Beauty and the Beast. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'm gonna have some reviews coming up for you guys soon. Of course, my review of The 100. This week's episode will still be out fairly soon. Sorry for the delay on that, but I'll also be uploading my review of season 2 of Merlin and season 3 of Orange is the New Black. So be on the lookout. Catch you guys next time. Peace.